Tom Hanks once again goes it alone on film. This time we exchanged the volleyball for a talking robot and a cute little dog. Let's talk about Finch. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my spoiler-free review for the new Apple TV Plus film called Finch. You can stream it right now. This is another COVID casualty. This actually was filmed in 2019 and was supposed to come out in October of 2020 and then got pushed back several times. It was going to be in April of 2021 and September 2021, and then eventually over the summer, Apple TV Plus bought the rights to the film and said, you know what, why don't we just stream this on our site? And Tom Hanks, no stranger to that, because Greyhound, Apple TV Plus original film, was originally supposed to be theatrically released last year, and they bought the rights to that. So a couple of Hanks numbers now on Apple TV Plus. This one's a little bit interesting in the sense of its release that Universal Pictures actually retains the rights to television programming of the film and the DVD and Blu-ray rights, which is pretty unique because a lot of these movies that have been snatched up by streamers that were supposed to come out theatrically don't have any kind of plan for release on television or home media, which I think stinks because not everybody has all 12 streaming services. My dad still hasn't been able to watch Coming to America because they don't have Amazon Prime. And that's not coming out on DVD. So I like that they're eventually going to be releasing this one on DVD. But in any case, let's talk about the film. Caleb Landry Jones is sort of the only other person really in this movie, and we don't see him visually. He provides the voice and some motion capture stuff for Jeff the robot. But for the most part, it's just good old Tom Hanks here as this Finch Weinberg, who is an inventor, robotics kind of person, and theoretically the last man on Earth after this, big toxic kind of air pollution thing kills pretty much everybody else. So there's still a lot of storms in the area, so Finch does have to sort of keep on the move, but he's created this robot who names himself Jeff after, kind of a funny scene in the movie where they're trying to pick a name for the robot. But essentially it's because Hanks's Finch character is dying and wants a robot to be able to take care of his dog after he's gone. Make sure the little pooch is cared for. It's a real cute dog, too. And I'm not really a dog person, but it's a cute dog. All right, so that's sort of the basics of this movie. It was supposed to be directed a while ago by Robert Zemeckis, but he doesn't really have anything to do with it. But Miguel Sapochnik is the director here. He is an Emmy-winning director for some Game of Thrones episodes. So maybe some epic kind of stuff here in this movie. Okay, for a couple of scenes. I'll give them that. So let's see. Plot-wise, this is pretty thin. I mean, realistically, it's a lot, lighter than a lot of the end of the world type movies, Last Man Alive type movies. And there's not much more to it than the description I gave you. Because they have to keep moving, it does sort of end up as a bit of a road trip movie. They are en route to San Francisco because Finch has some family there, which we learn a little bit about the details of as we move along with the story. But again, it's all sort of things that we discover through Jeff and Finch talking. So Jeff, a fully aware robot has, even emotions, I would say, but more than that, is very, very intelligent and can sort of converse like a normal human and all of that. The design of the robot is a bit of a mix of several robots that we've seen before on film and on television. And you can kind of see it from the poster, too. He looks a little bit like Johnny Five from Short Circuit. There's a little bit of Wall-E, I suppose, in there. And maybe even a little bit of Conky from the old Pee-wee's Playhouse show. And the way he talks is actually a bit Conky-ish as well. There's like a nice stutter there throughout the course of dialogue. But much like Hanks's other movie, Castaway, which it's mostly him, he does a great job here. You know, Hanks is no stranger to this type of story, and he's just, I think, one of our finest actors. We don't need to dwell on that too much. That's sort of a given. And I think he brings this picture to life a little bit more than maybe other people might have. But at the end of the day, it's still such a basic story. I did enjoy watching it. It's almost 2 hours, and I started it at a little before midnight. And I thought about 45 minutes in, I was like, I don't know if I can make it. You know, I'm kind of tired, whatever. But I decided to stick it out, and I'm not sorry that I did. It sort of went pretty briskly, but there's only a few real times of peril in this whole movie, which is interesting because you think like, oh, okay, it's an apocalyptic world or post-apocalyptic, I guess. You know, and he's one of the last people on Earth, and he's gonna get a move on so he doesn't get killed. But he's on his way to dying anyway. That's why he invented Jeff. So it's sort of like, all right, well, we can see where this is going. So yeah, there's a few pitfalls along their way, but none of them are that really consequential. And most of them are only like 2 or 3 minutes of, you know, a burst of action, and then we're right back to, you know, learning about Jeff and this and that. And there's some comedic elements to this as well, specifically with their dialogue and Finch and Jeff getting to know each other, sort of along the lines of a Wall-E, you know, back when he was like meeting Eve and stuff like that. But visually, it's fine. You know, I think I would have much preferred to see Greyhound on a big screen than this, because I think the scope of that movie would have been really enhanced on the big screen. Here, I think it's kind of fine either way. Yeah, there's some interesting cinematography choices, but I don't think this is something that desperately, you know, calls to be seen on the big screen. Caleb Landry Jones as Jeff is fine. I really think he provides a lot of the more comedic elements of the film, which is what he was designed to do. And the dog is very cute. And there's a few, you know, anger issues between the dog and Jeff, because, you know, the dog doesn't know what's going on, obviously. But overall, this was just sort of a standard kind of solo post-apocalyptic, I'm the last man on Earth type of picture. Nothing that interesting ever really happens, I have to say. Hanks does a good job with it, but this is all pretty basic. So I'm going to leave Finch with a C+. Like I said, in almost 2 hours, it does go by pretty briskly, and Hanks elevates it from what I think it could have been. But for the most part, it's just pretty generic overall. So there you go. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here next time on Dan Reviews It. Bye.